The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and it is Saturday. And you know what that means? It's time for all the toy news, action figure news of the week that interested me, that hopefully interests you. And there is a ton of news again this week, a lot of wrestling news, and a lot of miscellaneous news as well. We're going to cover it all here, including album of the week at the very end of the week as well. So stay tuned for that. But let's dive in. Let's do some housekeeping. And the first housekeeping thing today, June 10th, if you're watching this on Saturday, is my wife Angie's birthday. Angie, happy birthday out there. We all appreciate what you do every single day. I'm going to take you out to Long John Silver's tonight for dinner for your birthday, and that will also be your birthday present. I will get you a couple extra hush puppies. So you're in very much good company with me at Long John Silver's. Should be a fantastic date night for your birthday, and we'll see. We'll see if she co-signs on that. I don't know. Well, verdict's out. But happy birthday to my wife, Angie. And then on the other side of the good news, Angie's birthday, bad news, of course, the Iron Sheik died this week. Man, talk about a blow. But it's not like you didn't know it was coming eventually. Obviously, these older wrestlers, everybody gets older. You get a little closer to death's door every single day, some may say. But shout out to the Iron Sheik. We actually just did a top 5 Iron Sheik video on the channel like 2 weeks ago. So check that one out if you want to remember some of the Iron Sheik's greatest figures of all time. Now we got to dive into some of the giveaways. We got 2 giveaways going on right now. I will announce the giveaway winner for the 30,000 Patreon subscribers. Thank you to you guys and gals out there. We hit 30,000 subscribers last week on the YouTube. The march to 50, the slow crawl to 50 begins, but we are doing a giveaway here. We're giving away old Juventud Guerrera. We got Penta, of course, you got to have Penta, and without Penta, you can't have Rey Fenix, Taya Valkyrie. So we're giving away the 4 Legends of Lucha Libre Boss Fight Studio figures to one of you guys or gals out there. All you got to do is follow me on social media, SirPaul64 over on Twitter. Find the pinned tweet on these. Make sure you retweet it. Tag 3 people. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Make sure you follow me on YouTube. And we're off to the races there. I will announce the winners next Saturday and Sunday in the Toy News and Weekly Purchases video next weekend. So stay tuned for that. Enter the giveaway. And once again, thank you everybody for subscribing to the channel. Then we get to the Patreon giveaway. Of course, every month on the Patreon, we do a giveaway. All kinds of stuff over there on Patreon. Your best way to support the channel, as we always do say as well. Tons of Q&A, bonus videos, unboxings, you name it, all kinds of stuff. You can go to Patreon right now, and you can see the video of Lemmy, Domino, and Ace taking on a groundhog. I got video of the whole thing. It's like a 2-minute video. They took him to the limits. It was quite the fight. To the death? Well, you never know. You might have to check out that video, but that is up on Patreon right now, including a lot of other things. I did my monthly Q&A video from a hotel in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Beautiful this time of year this week. Next week, I'll be in Nebraska. So who knows? Maybe I'll run into some people out there in Nebraska. Just always a man on the move. And of course, tonight, I'm filming this on Fridays, as I always do. I will be on SmackDown, or I will be going to SmackDown, I should say. No, I'm wrestling. I'm in the main event. No, I will be at SmackDown tonight. It is in my hometown. And I'm like 3rd row on the camera side, so you might look for me. Maybe I'll wear like a Hawaiian shirt or something like that. But I should be on camera most of the show, I would imagine, being in the 3rd row there on the camera side. So we'll see what happens there. But no rest for the wicked, like a young Ozzy Osbourne, as I always like to say, of course, on the channel here. But now let's turn our attention over to, of course, the Patreon giveaway. That's where this all started. Elite 102, Sami Zayn. He is part of the giveaway. And then Brock Lesnar and his patented forklift. Of course, he drives this to every Monday Night Raw he is a part of. Somebody fact check that if they want to. But those 2 are going to go together to 1 Patreon member this month in June, part of the June Patreon giveaway. So 2 giveaways going here on the channel right now. Thanks to everybody out there for supporting this very YouTube channel. Now let's dive into it. Let's dive into the news. There's a lot of stuff going on. And as Jesse Ventura would say,
you ever wonder if they're watching your every move? Cell phones, internet, surveillance. Think about it.
Well, Jesse Ventura might not be saying that much longer, as the conspiracy is over. Powertown Series 1 in my hands now. But wait, there's more. The conspiracy's not quite over yet. As Kerry Von Erich, apparently he wasn't up to perfection, wasn't up to scale, whatever you want to call it. They are shipping him separate. But kudos to Powertown, like I said last week. They are footing the bill for that extra shipping to send to Kerry Von Erich. If you ordered him separate, you're going to get him. But if you ordered him part of the collection, they said they don't want you waiting any longer. we're getting those out there. So very, very exciting stuff to get those there. I'm very excited to unbox them. After I get done with these videos here today, I'm going to start the unboxing process. Of course, we're unboxing them all on the channel, so look forward to that. Look forward to Defining Moments unboxed on the channel next week as well. Busy guy, like I said, but I'll get it all done. I always do. Got to give a shout out to Wrestling Figure News Podcast, a fairly recent new podcast on my radar at least, but he did have Steve Rosenthal from Powertown over there, and he asked a lot of the questions a lot of us were thinking, and we did get some news on future Powertown releases, and we're going to dive into that right now. So some of the notes that stuck out to me there is, their plan is 3 different Ultra Waves a year. So I don't know if that's going to happen this year. He did say he's hoping by the end of this year, around November, December timeframe, we're going to have Series 2. I don't know. It depends how quick that turnaround time is at the factory, as we just are getting Series 1 now. You're going to have to put Series 2 up for pre-order for a month, 2-month window, whatever. Then it's going to have to be produced, shipped, all that kind of fun stuff. Then the holidays mixed in. I think that's going to be a tight timeline. Like we remember back, Powertown Series 1 was originally going to be October, then it got moved to December, then it got moved to January, February, and then here we are in June. So I think they'll have a lot of those bugs fixed. There's no doubt about it. I just don't know if they're going to get them out in December, but we're going to stay tuned. We're going to be here for it, and I can't wait to see the announcement on the next wave of Ultras. We talked about Kerry Von Erich. He will be shipping in June, is what Steve said. So we are in June right now. Should be by the end of June. Could be a special birthday present for me at the end of the month. We'll see what happens. A birthday present I bought myself. I guess that's how it would go. But hey, I'll take it any way I can get it. He also kind of let leak a little bit. Medusa will be in Series 2. So the first female Powertown figure will be in Series 2. It'll be interesting to see how she looks. Will it be her old school AWA attire? That's kind of what my gut tells me very early on Medusa. But who knows? Maybe we'll get Dangerous Alliance Medusa. I'd be here for that. But my gut tells me it's old school AWA wrestling Medusa. And they did talk about Matt and Brian, of course, Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. We are getting figures of those. We've seen previews of them. We've seen pictures of them, things like that. Those will be coming, but those are not part of a series. They are part of a one-off, and I am here for that. I just feel like those two, as cool as it is to get these figures, I like them better as a one-off than in a series. I don't want to see, oh, Series 2 is Medusa, Nick Bockwinkel, Brian Myers, Matt Cardona, Abdullah the Butcher. It's just like, who doesn't fit in with this mix here? So I like that they're going to keep those separate, and it sounds like there'll be a few of those things and exclusives, things like that off to the side every once in a while, and I think that is very smart. If I was Powertown, if I was Zombie Sailor, and Zombie does this a little bit, if I was running the business, I'd say, okay, here's the waves, and we're going to have 3 waves a year, okay? It's going to be every 4 months there's a new wave. Somewhere in between waves, let's have a one-off figure. Just a one-off figure. Maybe it's a repaint. Maybe it's a fancy repaint, maybe it's a box set, maybe it's something else, but it keeps those fires burning a little bit. So in between each set, let's do a little exclusive action. I think that's the way to go. Zombie Sailor's done that a little bit. I think he could do it a little bit more. I mean, Zombie, as much as we love Zombie Sailor, and he's got a lot of flack on this channel as well, he's produced product, but man, Series 2 has taken forever. Should be here in the next month or so, they're saying. But gosh, how long ago was it when Zombie announced everything? He announced like 60 different figures. So all these companies are a little bit guilty of that. But I think it seems, we'll see, but it seems like Powertown has got the ship going straight. They know what they're doing. Of course, now they have body molds, getting the most out of your molds. I would anticipate things would start moving a little bit faster in the future. And speaking of moving faster, they did talk about and officially announced this week the Remco line. Now, that was one of the great conspiracies of 2023. Was the Remco line, as it was announced in the end of last year, and they said coming January 1st, the announcement of Remco's, the Powertown Remco line. Well, it never came, and it's been on their website up till now that they finally announced it, saying January 1 it was coming. So I'm not sure what the delay was going on there, but they did announce the line, and the line is going to be very exciting. We got the Rock and Roll Express, have to assume a 2-pack right there. Very cool to get the rock and roll. It's funny, I just unboxed the Jack's Classic Superstars on the Patreon. Traditional YouTube members will see that in about a year, but if you're a Patreon member, you'll get that. It's up right now, actually. But very cool to get this, because I was saying, hey, as of right now, there's no official Rock and Roll Express figures coming out anytime soon. Well, here we go. So when people watch that a year from now, they're going to say, wait a minute, we had these. Well, there's more to the story there. But Rock and Roll Express coming. Tully and Magnum, the old I Quit match, and apparently there's going to be a shard of a chair. As we remember, Magnum grabbing that shard, putting it in Tully's face. Oh, man, all time right there. So Tully Magnum, assume that a 2-pack as well. Then we got Ariba, Tito Santana coming to the Remco line. We got Bobo Brazil, Missing Link, that's going to be a cool one, and then Nick Bockwinkel, one of the all-time greats. I hate that there's a day very soon that I feel like Nick Bockwinkel is going to be forgotten about. As much as I love Ric Flair, man, Nick Bockwinkel was very similar in his time with Bobby Heenan. If you go back and watch some of those old videos, man, chef's kiss right there. And I met Nick Bockwinkel many, many years ago. Obviously, he's passed away since. Probably my biggest regret of not getting a picture with somebody. I don't need pictures with everybody, but I remember that night I was like, gosh, I should get a picture with Nick Bockwinkel, and I didn't do it. Really, really should have done that. So big mistake on my part. Now, I would love to see Nick Bockwinkel and Tully Blanchard, Tito, Missing Link, Rock and Roll Express, especially in the Ultra line. So I'm hoping those are coming very soon to the Ultra line. That's the hard thing about some of these littler companies out there. They only give you so many figures a year. It's like, oh, we know we're going to get them, but it might be 3 years from now when we get the Rock and Roll Express Ultra. We'll see what happens, but that was some more announcements that we had from Powertown this week. So I'm here for it. I'm very excited for it. I wish them the best. I'm hoping everything goes right in the unboxings. As you guys know, like I always say, I am super excited about Powertown. I'm a classics guy. I don't know anybody that's championed Powertown more than me and got their name out there every single week, because this is what I've been looking for in the wrestling figure fan space, whatever you want to call it. Very excited for it. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you do subscribe, as we'll unbox them this week on the channel. All right, then we continue on. We talked about Zombie Sailor a little bit earlier. Sounds like he's got a non-wrestling figure coming. We saw it last week. I think we talked about it a little bit. Once again, this week he put up the announcement. It's coming. Who's it going to be? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see and find out. He also did show a little mock-up of a Mark Sterling figure. So it sounds like Mark Sterling's retro is coming sooner rather than later. So he did show that on a Jeff Jarrett card. So I thought that was interesting. And I forgot to say, we're in the retro news. We're in the retro figure news here. But CWF, another retro figure company like the Rush Collectibles, Hassel Toys, Zombie Sailor, there's many out there. They did announce that they are going out of business. They are for sale right now. I'm not sure if anybody's buying them. I don't know what's going to happen with that one. But unfortunately, they are for sale. They did fall. And I did say, as part of my predictions this year, there's no way all these retro lines are sustainable. It's just not a possibility. And it's just not going to come to fruition, because they're banking on a lot of this money from pre-orders to build waves and kind of getting them set ahead of themselves. That doesn't always work out in the best. You got to have some capital to begin with, unless you're really fortunate or you got a really hot product that can really get you off to the old races right away. And CWF didn't have that for the American audience. And I think the majority of wrestling figures are bought in America. I think if you had to do the math, that's probably the case. And they had a lot of foreign talent, which isn't a bad thing, but those don't go as far in some other areas of the world. Alex Wright, he's going to move needle around the world because he's been around the world. But some of the other characters they were announcing were pretty niche figures or niche wrestlers to somebody in the American market. I think that's a fair assessment. So we'll see what happens, see if anybody picks them up, if they merge, what happens. We'll have to stay tuned for that one. Shout out to the old Major Bendy's line this week. 3 different referee figures. Very, very cool there. My old buddy Knick getting a referee figure. I'm here for that as well. Very cool. Shout out. Go over to Major Pod. The Major Bendy's. Pick those up. Pick up the referee ones if you need some referees in your fig fed of Bendy figures. So there you go. The Asylum Toys. They showed off the Road Warriors. Man, you know I'm here for that. And it looks like they're going to be in that Remco He-Man style scale. We all knew that, but they showed them up against some Superstars figures. Be really interesting once they get those in hand. I am very excited for this line as well. It's so weird, though, as I don't have a lot of love for the Remco style figures, but I have so much love for the He-Man figures. It's such a weird dynamic. We all have our quirks out there. I was not a Remco guy as a kid because I was too young to collect the Remcos. I started with LJNs. If I was a couple years older, I think I'd have a lot of love for those Remcos, but I love the Superstars line. I love the He-Man figures. I love the Masters of the WWE Universe. So we'll see what happens, but I do think I'll love these Road Warriors. They're going to pair perfectly, it looks like, with the Superstars figures, and I have to think Powertown, their versions of Remcos, they're going to be updated. They're going to have the new bells and whistles. Have to think those will go in that kind of same demographic of figures. So more to come on that one. Figure collection out there, those bone-crunching wrestlers. We got Jeff Jarrett. They did announce him this week. They showed a little image of him. I'd say it's the corrected Jeff Jarrett we should have got back in the day instead of the cheap Owen Hart repaint right there. So that was an interesting one as well. And then finally, in the wrestling news, or one of the last things in wrestling news here, of course, Figure Toy Company. A lot of people hate these figures. We always talk about them when they do have stuff, but it always seems like it's years between figures. Well, right now, up on Figure Toy Company, guess what? You can pick up a brand new Brad Armstrong figure, Dr. Tom Pritchard, Savio Vega, Louis Spicolli, and the big cat, Mr. Hughes, of course. So those ones are up there. You know, they're basically a Jack's Ruthless Aggression / Deluxe Aggression hybrid with cloth goods. Sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're really bad. A lot of these are in the middle. Brad Armstrong getting his first ever figure, very cool there. I can see a lot of people buying it for the soft goods jacket to use with different figures. Very cool soft goods on that one. I think Dr. Tom Pritchard looks really good, especially in the face department. I really like the looks of that one. You can, of course, put him with your Chris Candido figure if you wanted to as well. Savio Vega, a guy, of course, coming off that Puerto Rico WWE event. Maybe he'll move some units. We do know Hastel Toys also has Savio Vega signed. Skin tone looked a little dark to me. Maybe that was just me. Louis Spicolli, a longtime favorite of some, but a lot of people don't even know who Louis Spicolli is, I think, anymore. It was not like he was a main event player. He was Scott Hall's lackey a little bit, feuded with Larry Zbyszko for a bit, was in ECW, kind of feuded with Tommy Dreamer, had some time as Rad Radford over there in WWF. So he was around, a little bit of a journeyman, of course, passed away much too soon, but I don't know if there's going to be a lot of love for that figure. And the big cat, Mr. Hughes, I don't know, there's a lot of good memories of him from WWF, WCW, or Kansas State Wildcat fans. They might want a Mr. Hughes figure, so we'll see what happens out there. And then as I'm filming this right now, I've been giving clues the last couple of weeks. I said I'm not going to be the one to announce what the Mattel San Diego Comic-Con announcement is, but there's been some Instagram things showing here is what it is, here's what's going on, here's what's coming with it. I'm not going to confirm or deny, but I'm just going to say these people that have this, as of right now, they're leaking. They don't know the whole story. There's a lot more to it than what they're showing. So I guess we'll find out that sooner rather than later. But I don't feel like I'm the person to break that news and give that out there. I'm not going to do these clickbait videos that, what is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive? You know, just a standalone video. I'm not going to do that kind of stuff. And I've said it before. I know how hard Mattel team works. They want to keep these things as big a surprise as they can. It's tough, though, once you're on the line to get that word out. But I've been there myself. Of course, I deal with stuff like this, not in the figure world, but in my normal business life. And it's really bad when you get something going on. Say you got a big promotion going or a new item, and that stuff leaks out to your competition, leaks out early. It's never a good deal. It's not quite the same because it's going to be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, but it's their hard work. They should get to glory in the reveal, but it is what it is. That's kind of technology these days. Once it's on the factory line, it's as good as out there for the most part. But there is some stuff shooting around, and as of right now, it might be partially correct, but it is definitely not fully correct from what I know. So more to come on that. So there's the wrestling figure news of the week. Now we're going to jump into some other things. And oh, baby, I am so excited as first of the week. And of course, I'll be in Nebraska for work. I'm going to be sitting in that hotel just looking at myself in the mirror like one of these because I just got shipping notice from Big Bad Toy Store. Link in the description below. G.I. Joe Super 7 Series 2 coming to me next week. Oh my gosh, I am so excited for this. You know I've been looking forward to this Flint figure. I feel like it's been 2 years since they officially announced this, so very excited to get some new G.I. Joes here, and I got a ton of G.I. Joe stuff coming in the next 2 weeks, so stay tuned for that. It is G.I. Joe June after all, which segues us into the G.I. Joe HasLab Dragonfly. Not going to beat that thing up in this video here. I did do a video on Monday, I think it was this week, kind of going through it. And then, of course, we did a video, Nitro Stage versus the Dragonfly, thoughts and stuff. You know, a lot of people say you can't compare them. Well, you can compare them. You know, one is, they're both toys. One's Hasbro, one's Mattel. They're both crowdfunding items. They're both nostalgic in their own way. So there's a lot of stuff you can compare, but there's a lot of differences between the two. And I try to give my opinion in that video, so check that out if you want. But we are dangerously close to Ripcord. I have to think Friday as I'm filming this, it is payday. We know they don't bill you till it ships, but so many people forget that, and they're like, well, I'll get it on Friday when I get paid. That's what they're going to do. So, got to imagine a ton of people will be backing over the weekend here. I have to assume by the weekend we will see Ripcord, which will lead us to what is the next announcement. We should know that early next week, if not this weekend. So, stay tuned for that. Very excited for the Dragonfly. I know there's people army building these. There's just a lot of excitement about the Joe brand, and there's been that excitement since I was a little kid, so I'm very excited for this resurgence of G.I. Joe, as it was always it was always there, it was big, but there was a lot of years, especially after the 25th anniversary line in the 3 3/4, some stumbles, some stops, some exclusives, some little things, but nothing like we're living right here today in the classified scale. I'm here for it. I'm excited for it. We'll see where this Dragonfly goes. We'll keep tabs on it in the weekly news every week until it ends, so stay tuned for that. We also got some G.I. Joe adjacent stuff as Action Force Valaverse, of course. They're going to be at Joe Fest, but they did finally announce what to do with these Action Force points. I got my envelope in. I had exactly 40 points, so I could pick up 2 of these Undercover Condor figures. Now, a lot of people saying, oh, it's their take on Chuckles. I guess I can totally see that here. But a very cool looking figure. I'm here for it. I love the idea of collecting points and doing all that stuff. My kids are on summer vacation, so I said, hey girls, here's what your job is today. I need you to cut out all these file cards and all these points. And they sat there with their scissors, went through all that, helped old dad out. So it was a team effort there. But I will have 2 of those Condor figures coming. Going to open one, of course, on the channel. One I'll save for a rainy day, I guess. I don't know what I'll do with that one there. But very cool use of points. I am here for the point use. Very excited there. Going over to San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, I have to think we're going to ramp up with a lot more of those very soon. There was a Street Fighter one announced. I don't really cover too much Street Fighter stuff. But we did get from NECA an announcement of a San Diego Comic-Con Alf. It's kind of Alf on vacation. Alf at the Comic-Con. And I'm here for that. I love that Alf figure. A great figure. I'm here for those Hawaiian shirts. I'm just here for it. I'm going to pick up that Alf. It will be available online for some that aren't going to attend in person. I will be at San Diego Comic-Con, as I did say, so if you're going out there, look for me out there. But very excited to see that one here. We also saw some pictures. Apparently, these came out of Hawaii. Oh, Hawaii. Beautiful this time of year is what I've been told. But we did see some new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles NECA cartoon figures. The Ultimate April, it sounds like, has arrived in Target stores out there. And we've also got the Bugman and Electro Zapper. Not super familiar with these. These are some deep, deep turtle cuts, but that 2-pack apparently has been showing up. Not sure how well that 2-pack's going to sell. I guess we'll wait and see what happens with that one. And speaking of Ninja Turtles, we talked about it all last week in the news. Best Buy, Pre-Order City, all kinds of new Turtles from the comic books over at Best Buy. This week, NECA showed fancy glamour shots for these. So they were kind of a week behind. Not sure who jumped the gun where, but you can see those pictures. Of course, go to Best Buy if you're looking for some of those Turtles. Very, very interesting sets there. And then, of course, McFarlane Toys. You can't have a week without McFarlane. He drops something new every single day. Dropped a few different things this week and some announcements, things like that, but stuff I cared about. We are getting a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive Superman 1 of 3000 black and white edition. Very cool looking figure. Not sure if it's necessarily going to be for me, but a lot of Superman fans will probably want to jump over to Big Bad Toy Store and pick that up. And then we did see a DC Sonar version of Joker, and it's so funny. I see all these movies, I watch them, and I watch them once, and I totally forget about it. So I don't even remember the Sonar scene where he's like kind of the Obi-Wan Kenobi version of the Joker, but we are getting a figure of that if that is your thing. So very excited there. And then we're going to finish this week off with Marvel Legends. A lot of different Marvel Legends announcements this week. Some new pre-orders going up. Sounds like we got a whole new Hulk, Incredible Hulk Build-A-Figure wave. But this is totally awesome Hulk. This isn't Bruce Banner Hulk. It's a different version of Hulk. But Hulk always works as a Build-A-Figure for me. So I do like that one. A lot of mixed reaction. I would say mostly negative, honestly, from what I've heard about this Build-A-Figure wave. Not a lot of people are in for that Hulk. And then you, of course, got the Phantom, Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel. So you get the 3 kind of movie characters from the upcoming movie, of course. Photon. What did I say? Phantom? Photon? But we got those 3 coming from the movie. Then we're getting Iron Man Heroes Reborn, another Iron Man, another Captain America with Commander Rogers. So there's a lot of Iron Man, Captain America. I know it's what sells, it's what moves the needle, but we want some deeper cut characters. But we did get some deep cut characters. One so far deep in, I don't even know the character. He's after my time. Marvel Boy. Oh, we're really stretching for names at this point. But we got Marvel Boy coming to that one. Looks like that Kid Omega redone is kind of what it looks like. Then we did get an Inhuman. This is the deep cut I am here for to build out an Inhuman shelf. Karnak is coming, so hopefully we get some more. What was that, Gorgon? Is that the one with the hooves and stuff? I always liked that toy back in the day. We need him in Marvel Legends. So we do got a few different Marvel Legends coming our way, a new Build-A-Figure wave, and it looks like it's shipping in July, so those should be right around the corner. Should be a quick turnaround on this set. I can see a lot of people passing. I can see a lot of people saying, I might wait for the clearance on these. I don't know if there's enough on here for everybody to pick up, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens when we review them here at the table. And then Thursday this week, we did see the Black Widow Target exclusive go up for pre-order. We get all kinds of weapons, smoke effects, things like that. Of course, the figure on the new updated female body mold. And then you get 3 heads with this one, which is very cool because you can use these heads on prior versions of Black Widow if you want to, or anybody else if you really need to there. So that is a very cool way to go about things. So I'm here for that. So there it is. That is the toy news this week. A very, very busy toy news week. They're always busy anymore, and I think they're going to get really busy as we ramp up for San Diego Comic-Con, of course. And I talked about that HasLab in one of those videos. I think it was a very smart move for them to end it right before San Diego Comic-Con starts, because if there was still a couple of weeks where they overlapped, we know not every collector is into the San Diego Comic-Con madness, but we do know NECA and all these other companies have so many exclusives that are going to get into people's wallet. Dragonfly, you need to get that out of the way first, and that's what Hasbro team's doing. They found a perfect window for their HasLab. I know a lot of people said they should wait till the Hiss tank's in hand, then do it. I definitely can't agree with that, but I think they said, just based on things, we better do it now or forever hold our peace. And it looks like it worked because it's been backed in like less than a day, or less than 2 days, we'll call it there. Whoa, 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 stop the clock. Got way ahead of myself as I was editing the video. I noticed I forgot album of the week. I guess I'm just tired. I had like a 16-hour work day with a 4.5-hour drive yesterday, so I'm a little bit tired, getting ready to go to SmackDown. Gonna power through. We're gonna make it happen here, but I wanted to do album of the week, and album of the week did come out last Friday. And what is that album? It is Rancid, Tomorrow Never Comes. Of course, Rancid, a favorite band of mine, going all the way back to my junior high years. I remember walking to and from school with the cassette player, with a little Rancid in the old cassette, and then later on, the old Walkman days. But Rancid, a favorite of mine, and this album feels a lot like Slayer, Rain and Blood. Well, maybe not sound-wise, but under 30 minutes, man oh man, I think that is very cool. I love a quick album. I can snap my fingers, listen to the whole thing really quick. You can listen to it multiple times. Of course, you know Rancid. It's a lot of the stuff you come to expect with a Rancid album. But very cool, under 30 minutes. I really do like that because what is time, as we always say here on the channel, not everybody has a ton of time. And sometimes albums, movies, things like that that are really long, they almost feel like an obligation. I'm kind of staring the eyes of Wakanda Forever. I want to watch that movie. I'll get around to it. But I look at the runtime. I'm like, when am I going to have that unedited runtime where I can actually get that done? It just doesn't come up very often. So when you get a little jewel like this under 30 minutes, it's a nice little snack. And man, I am here for that. And if you've never checked out Rancid, man, what are you waiting for? Check out the Rancid. So Rancid, Tomorrow Never Comes, album of the week. A lot going on in the toy news. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you're excited for. Let me know what toy news you are so amped up to pick up. Are you getting the HasLab? What are you doing out there? Let me know in the comments down below. Of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. Don't forget about the 2 giveaways. We talked about them at the top of the channel, so you want to get a part of those, of course. And then don't forget about Patreon, your best way to support this very YouTube channel. You get videos like this and all the other videos much earlier. Get exclusive videos, all kinds of different stuff. Head on over to the old Patreon. And best of all, you do support the channel. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. And don't forget social media. SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. And tonight, as I'm filming this, I'm headed to SmackDown. I'll be in row 3, I believe, right on the camera side. So look for me. I guess if you're watching this Saturday, if you're a non-Patreon member, you might have to rewind your DVR. But you might see me. Maybe I'll wear a fancy Hawaiian shirt. We'll see. But check me out on SmackDown. So there it is. I'm rocking and rolling to Long John Silver's to celebrate my wife Angie's birthday. I'll see you guys all real soon.